Thumbs up? Doing a pretty good job? All right, good. I really want your feedback. If you feel like you're confused on something or I'm not explaining something as well as you would need it to be. I can't read minds. I'm really trying to work on my mind reading skills, but I have not accomplished it at all. So if you have any concerns or you feel like you need me to explain something again, please don't hesitate to ask. And the other thing a couple of people asked me while I was away, was to do a tracing tutorial, and I'll do that tonight too. I'll keep it brief, but I will get you going, okay, on some important things that you will want to know. I was actually working on a tracing project, so I have something to show you that fits in. All right, so here we go. I was recording all that. What the heck? So I'm going to start now a new file in Illustrator. New, yay, new. And when I go into Illustrator to begin my work, I have a thing called Profiles, and one of them is Web. Now, one of the things I did do, strangely enough, on my vacation is I taught myself, I sort of already had tried to do it before, but this time it really sunk in. I taught myself Bootstrap. Bootstrap is a language, or a CSS language, that goes with HTML to allow you to create responsive web pages. And I'm going to show you that project too. I have tons to show you tonight. But what I'm really driving towards here is that you're just going to start feeling more comfortable and have an idea of what to expect when you make a layout. And if you're concerned about making a mobile layout, at some point I'll show you a little bit about what you might expect to see when a layout collapses. So some conceptual stuff and some technical stuff. All right, so right here I'm looking at sizes for basic web pages, although I will tell you that these are really for fixed-based design. Fixed-based design means that it's not fluid, it's not responsive. That's not wrong, it's just a little bit, ever so slightly, a few months into old school. And I mean that with the most respect, because there's still a lot of sites on there that are not responsive. Does everybody know what responsive is? When you squish the page down, the pieces move, right? Everything will move around. So whether you make it 960 by 560 or 1024 by 768 isn't that big of a concern to me, but just know that you can start with a preset right here. So I would make it one of these two. 1024 by 768 is a larger size, so I'm going to use that. And that again is here under web sizes. And I will click OK, and I now get a web-based page. Okay, so far so good. All right, so when we're talking about page layout, and we did have an opportunity to read some about page layout, including a lot of great examples throughout the last batch of text that you were working on or reading. There are several pages that have some really excellent help in and around layout, especially around pages 121 and 122, if you did have a chance to do the reading. My favorite layout to do for web pages is a 6-column layout, which can also be interpreted into 12 columns. So 12, 6, 3, 2, 4. It's extremely, incredibly helpful to be able to do a 12-column layout. And that is what I'm going to show you now, is how to set up a workspace, your own workspace, to create a 12-column layout. And in fact, I will save this file save as 12 cols AI. Okay. My main point here is to help you be able to start getting going with a firm armature or a structure so that you can feel more comfortable making your own design work. I'm going to begin by just using the rectangle tool, and this is going to be a purely visual way of creating a 12-column grid. So I'm going to just make a basic square here, a rectangle. That's not a square, it's a rectangle. And I'm not really even concerned about the size. Just any size is fine. And then I'm going to click on it with the black arrow tool, the regular selection tool, and I'm going to duplicate it so that the second one lands up right on the right edge of the first one. So now I have two of these. Now I'm going to use the key command, Command D, to duplicate that. Command D is transform again, and you can see here, transform again. Object, transform, transform again. That's what I just did, Command D. I'm going to do it again, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I have 12 boxes. Right? Draw the first one. Draw the first one. Let's do it again, no worries. Okay, draw the first one, press the Option key and the Shift key. And that creates a copy that's perfectly lined up. Option and Shift key. See if you look at my hands, I know it's hard to. You can stand up, I'm fine with that. But you'll see that I'm pressing two keys over here. They're the Option and the Shift key while I drag this first rectangle. Now I'm letting go of the key, the mouse first, then the keys. Mouse first, then keys. Then Command D. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? So make the first rectangle small. Option Shift, drag it to the right. Line it up with the right edge. Left edge to right edge. Select, duplicate. Transform again. Command D after you do the second one. And then once you have all 12, what you can do is, with love and care, place the left side on the left and go to the, because they're all selected, right side of the right one. Take a look up. And I'm going to drag this over so that it's like that. Now I see a couple people are looking down. You guys want to try it? I'll pause. Now the next thing I need to do to construct this page layout with 12 columns is I want to go to the preferences. The reason why I want to go to preferences is really not that necessary right now, but in order for you to understand what's happening here, currently I have my guide color in Illustrator set to blue. That's the color of my guides, guidelines. They could be light blue, they could be orange, they could be purple, they could be anything you want. But this, again, is a preference that you can change, and right now they're blue. I'm going to make them orange, just for fun, because I feel like orange today. Okay? Now I will have orange guides. Yes, I will have orange guides. And I will click OK. And yes, I am recording. Next, I'm going to show the rulers, because the guides that I need live inside the rulers. Rulers, show rulers. So that's a view, rulers, and I could hide them again. Now they're gone. And view, rulers, show rulers. And there they are at the top and the left. Those are my rulers. Inside the rulers, if I click and hold and start dragging without letting go over to these lines, I'll actually see it snap when it hits the intersection between the first two boxes. Puts an orange guide there. And I'll continue to do that for each one of these. And I do have to hand place these. There's not really a quick cheat for that. Well, there is a quick cheat for it. Should I tell it to you? You want to know what it is? Fine. First of all, these guides are locked. When I go to view and I go to guides, I can see they're locked. So I need to unlock them now. And I need to unlock them because you want to see the cheat. Everyone nodded. Very coy. Every coy nods, everyone. All right, so here's how I'm going to do it. Now that I know where the marks are, I'm going to use the line tool. The reason why I'm going to use the line tool is probably for two reasons that you can guess. One is I need to make the line a color. This is not going to end up being the color. I'm going to make it black, and you're going to see they're going to turn to orange. Okay? One is because they're lines. That's why I need to use the line tool. And the other is because it's easier than the pen tool. Oops, and I have something happening here that I need to, I don't know what I did. All right? So I deleted that. Now I'm going to duplicate this line, Option drag, right, over to, just like I did the boxes, Option drag, holding, Option Shift drag, aligning these up with the place right there, with the place where it needs to be. And then Command D again. They look a little off, don't they? I don't know what's up with that. Maybe I didn't place it as accurately as I should have. So I'm just going to move those over, holding the Shift key to help me align these little guys. Better. Arrow keys on my keyboard, extremely helpful in a case like this. That looks much better. And one more here. Now, they're lined up. Lovely. Here's the quick cheat. I'm going to select them all. They're all selected. I can see all of them are selected. And I'm going to go View. And I'm going to go to Guides. And I'm going to choose Make Guides. Make Guides. Now, they're guides. They do not look orange. They are making me sad. Oh, they're orange. Okay, I'm going to deselect them by clicking one click away. View, Guides, Lock Guides. They're locked now. And essentially, I can just select that all and delete it. So that is my perfect 12-column grid made without having to measure. There's nothing wrong with measuring, but it can just be hard to do, quickly like that. All right, so far so good? All right, so the next thing is, now that I have this wonderful grid and the guides are locked, I can click on the guides. It isn't a bad idea to come over to your Layers panel. There is my friendly Layers panel. And this layer actually has the guides in here, and you can hide and show that layer, right, by clicking the Hide and Show button. And if I go to Layer by double-clicking on it, and I choose the name by double-clicking on it, and I can put guides there. So I know that that's a separate thing from my artwork, and if I decide later to delete the guides, or I just want to make sure they're separate from my actual work, I can do that. So I'm going to add a new layer now, and this is going to be called my wireframe. And the wireframe is essentially really just boxes that show where things go in web layout. Wireframe is a fancy name for a web thumbnail, more or less. What makes wireframes a little bit more distinct than your basic thumbnail sketch is that you are going to be labeling all of the pieces and parts. When you do a wireframe professionally, you will actually do a side paper where you might put numbers inside the boxes or call-outs showing what everything looks like or what everything is going to be in the box. And I will show you that part as well. All right, so that's the first part of the tutorial, which is just creating the guides for a 12-column grid and locking them and making them color we want. Okay, so I'm going to stop that one.